Hi, I'm Michael Masters. I'm the Catchment Commander for CFA District 20, looking after the Gannawarra Catchment. And today I wanted to talk to you about getting ready. Getting ready for summer. It's just round the corner. The fire danger period's being introduced into the Shire of Gannawarra on Monday the 15th, so a couple of weeks away. So now's the time to get our turnout gear out, get our PPC out, check it over, make sure that it's all good to go. And if not, talk to Stephanie, talk to myself, and we'll arrange for replacement equipment to come out for you. It's also time to tick the boxes as far as the Chief Officer requires. The Chief wants us to, or does require us to, undertake a burnover drill, so make sure you get that done and dusted, and also to ensure that we're current in the hazardous trees training. So that's really important as well. There has been some changes to the tree marking system for hazardous trees, so I'd encourage you to get on to Members Online and just refresh yourself in relation to those tree marking systems. The last aspect of getting ready from the Chief Officer's perspective is nominating our vaccination status. So the Chief Health Officer for Victoria has mandated that all authorised workers, and that includes us, we've got to nominate our vaccination status. So we do that through a portal on the Members Online, so the CFA website. So log on to that, nominate your vaccination status, and off you go. I will say that the Chiefs mandated that if you are not fully vaccinated, then you cannot perform a role for CFA outside your home this summer. So if you want to come and participate with CFA, that's part of your obligation. So moving forward, I'll talk to you shortly about some changes to the district communications plan, and we'll also look at availability of aircraft for the. Also wanted to talk to you about changes with the attack aircraft this year. So in previous years, we've had a heli-tac sitting at Boort. Changes to the state contracting arrangements have seen that aircraft won't be available this year. So we're reliant on the bombers that normally sit at Linga over near Oyen and the heli-tac at Sea Lake. That aircraft will also have an air attack supervisor with it this year, so a second aircraft. And so make sure you tap into that if they're working over your fire, because they'll provide you really good information from a different vantage point. We've also got the heli-tac and air attack supervisor at Bendigo. So the aircraft start dates for the Sea Lake machine will be around the 10th of November, and they'll be on that predetermined dispatch, so you'll see them automatically being responded to grass and scrub fires once the fire danger index is above that 12. So on most occasions you'll see the aircraft from Sea Lake being dispatched to your fire. And remember, if you don't need it, just cancel it. If you hear it booking out on, and it will book out like a fire truck on channel 520. And so if you don't need it, make sure you do cancel it, because otherwise the resource gets allocated to that fire and it won't go to a second fire. So do make sure you keep that in mind. So as I said, there's been some changes this year to the district communications plan. We've introduced regional mobile radio into the network. And that gives us basically a district-wide radio network for us to tap into and use for those command communications. And the first off channel that we'll use there is channel 453, although we do have some additional channels. So that network operates very similar to the Firecom network, and it gives us that district-wide coverage. So essentially you can talk from one end of the district to the other. The other thing about the district communications plan is that we've tried to refocus brigades on using simplex radio channels for their fireground operations. So in the Gannawarra group, channels 305 and 338 are the designated simplex radio channels. We do have some additional ones, but first off, choose one of those to either 305 or 338. So let's talk about a quick scenario. Lake Charm get responded to a grass and scrub fire. So they book out to that fire on channel 520. So Lake Charm tankers out to a grass and scrub fire, Murray Valley Highway, Lake Charm. As they approach, they see a bit of smoke building, and it's really good to nominate or to notify Firecom that there is smoke showing, because it just raises everybody's situational awareness. As they get closer, they can then book on scene. They don't have to actually be on scene to book on scene with Firecom. And the advantage of doing it early is that once you do actually get onto the fire ground, you can then just focus on tasking your crew and equipment and any oncoming appliances. So Bordy and his crew get within a couple of 100 metres, jump on the radio, Firecom, Lake Charm tanker on scene, and you need to nominate a control point. The best way to nominate a control point, or the simplest way, is to nominate the location of where you are. Lake Charm tanker on scene, now known as Lake Charm Control. Nominate a fireground channel. So Lake Charm tanker on scene, now known as Lake Charm Control, fireground channel 305. And then just provide that quick situational report of what you can see out the windscreen, a windscreen sitrep. By doing that, it increases everybody's awareness of what's going on. It informs for the other trucks that are coming down the road of what they can expect to see when they arrive. And it also gives me and others in the district headquarters that little bit of information that will help us to put together advice to the community. So whether we've got to issue a watch and act or an advice message, etc., we might be arranging police to block the road for smoke going over the road from a hazard, or any of those sorts of things. We can provide that support, but we can only do that if we have an understanding of what's going on out there. So just to finish off, I want to acknowledge that we've had significant growth around the district this year. So there's no doubt we'll be chasing a few grass and scrub fires over summer. Stay safe. Make sure that you put your welfare and the welfare of your crew as the first priority. Use your training, rely on that, and if you're unsure of anything, just ask. Sing out to your brigade officers, sing out to myself or Steph, and we'll try and help you out. Also opportune to welcome aboard the new Assistant Chief Fire Officer for District 20, Steve Pitcher. So welcome aboard, Steve. You'll see him around the place soon enough. He commences next week. Also, we welcome aboard Paul Elso. Paul's picked up the commander's role in the catchment down at Campaspe, and Paul's been with us before, but he's now back with us on a full-time basis. So welcome aboard. Stay safe over summer. I wish you well, and I'll see you around the traps. Thank you.